Today I will be talking about the four main aspects that impacted how Luca Guadagnino's Call Me By Your Name perfectly encapsulated the dreamlike atmosphere. Firstly, the color palette / color grading. Secondly, the cinematography / camera style and lens. Thirdly, the soundtrack, and lastly, the story. As the atmosphere in the film grows increasingly dreamy, we see reoccurring colors no matter the change in scene or setting. Warm tones of yellows, greens, and light blues. Though the colors are very warm and bright, they have a sort of faded, even grainy effect in the film. The reason for its slightly faded effect as opposed to fully saturated is because it's supposed to evoke the feeling of a faded memory. Director Luca Guadagnino wanted the film's look to be as if you were recollecting your own memories from a time that has long passed. This explains the choice of slightly faded and grainy warm tones, because that's how it would be in your mind. Though in the film's finale, the whole tone has changed. It's now cold tones of blues, blacks, and grays. Just like that, it's been turned into a much darker, sadder, dreamlike atmosphere, the recalling of a depressing memory of heartbreak, as opposed to the majority of the film, which encapsulates the recalling of a beautiful, blissful memory of first love. Call Me By Your Name was filmed entirely with just one 35mm lens. The simplicity is what made it so beautiful and dreamlike. Luca didn't want technology getting in the way. He wanted it to be pure, again, like a memory. Each and every shot is beautifully framed and executed. If you paused at any point in the film, you could blow that still up and put it on display. That's how gorgeous every second is. Cinematographer Sayambu Maktiprom uses a wide variety of shot types that are mostly in deep focus. The reason for deep focus is so the camera doesn't take away from the surroundings. It includes and gives respect to it all. A lot of people tend to think that deep focus looks unprofessional and shallow focus is the way to go. However, Luca wanted nature and the setting to play a big part in the film. He wanted to let the scenes breathe. A lot of people may also call this film boring due to the long, dragged-out shots, but I believe these are really important and impact the atmosphere of the film. The shots are long and dragged out because Luca wanted them to linger and stay with you again, as they would in a distant memory. The use of music in this movie is impeccable. The soundtrack is so simple, soft, and sweet, with a combination of classical music and 3 original scores by talented singer-songwriter Sufjan Stevens. Futile Devices, Mystery of Love, which was nominated for Best Original Score, and Visions of Gideon are literally the most dreamy, enchanting songs I've ever heard, and are perfect for Call Me By Your Name. The film is about first love and heartbreak and memory, and these songs are all just as light-hearted as they are heartbreaking. And because Luca made the film in such a way that you feel as though a love of your own has bloomed, then disappeared, that you were Elio, the one experiencing all the emotions, when you hear these songs, they transport you back to this time in your life and make you feel as though you are reliving your own memories. They have such a dreamy atmosphere, just like Call Me By Your Name, and the lyrics work so wonderfully with the scenes they have been placed in. For example, Visions of Gideon is played through the credits, and repeats the line, "Is it a video?" referring to Elio looking back on the love that has ended, replaying the memories in his mind like a video, seeming so vivid, but as it's over, just a vision. The final aspect that adds to the atmosphere of the film is the story itself. As like stories of old so perfectly articulates, a big part of the dreamlike world is that it supports the characters. It wishes for the characters to grow and be happy and love each other, not for them to experience hardships and hatred and nightmares. In most cases of same-sex relationships being portrayed in film, there is an opposition. But Luca quotes, "The idea that there is a contrast between the lovers is something that is so artificial." He wanted to avoid external barriers and oppositions. Elio's parents are extremely accepting and caring, especially given the context of the setting being 1983 when homosexuality was still something to be ashamed of. Elio and Oliver are also very loving and caring, which makes the audience root for them more, because if they love and care for each other, we are more likely to love and care for them. Small things count too. For example, the old lady who went out of her way to bring the lovers water. Though this may seem meaningless, it still overall adds to the dreamlike atmosphere of the film that is uncorrupt, sweet, and supportive.